Welcome back to my channel. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they quit too early. And no one explains this truth better than Denzel Washington. This is not just advice. This is a wake-up call. If you've ever doubted yourself, if you've ever felt behind in life, if you've ever wondered whether your dreams are even possible, stay until the end, because this might be the message you didn't know you needed. Denzel Washington didn't come from privilege. He didn't grow up knowing he would become one of the greatest actors of all time. In fact, for a long time, he didn't even know what his purpose was. He was lost, undisciplined, coasting through life. And that's where his story becomes powerful, because that's where most people are. Denzel has said that one of the biggest turning points in his life was realizing this simple truth. You don't find purpose by chasing success. You find success by chasing purpose. Too many people chase money. They chase fame. They chase validation. But when you chase those things first, you end up empty. Denzel says you must ask yourself one question. What am I called to do? Not what's easy. Not what pays fast. Not what looks good on social media. What are you called to do? Because when you align your life with purpose, everything changes. He often talks about discipline, not motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Denzel says doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, but doing it anyway, that's what separates winners from everyone else. You don't feel like getting up early. You don't feel like training. You don't feel like studying. You don't feel like starting over. But feelings don't build futures. Habits do. He reminds us that dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. A dream becomes a goal when you write it down and attach a deadline. Most people never write their goals down. They talk about them. They think about them. But they never commit. Denzel says commitment is what scares people, because commitment removes excuses. And excuses are comfortable. But comfort is dangerous. One of Denzel's most powerful lessons is about failure. He says, if you're not failing, you're not even trying. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every rejection, every missed opportunity, every closed door, they are not signs to quit. They are signs that you're moving. Denzel reminds us that just because it didn't work today doesn't mean it won't work tomorrow. You may be one audition away, one application away, one decision away, but most people quit right before the breakthrough. He talks about faith, not just religious faith, but faith in the unseen. Faith is believing in something you cannot see yet. It's trusting the process when the results aren't visible. Denzel says you will never see the full staircase. You only see the first step. And that's enough. You don't need the full plan. You need courage. Courage to step forward while others stand still. Another powerful message he shares is about envy. He says stop comparing yourself to others. Someone else's success does not take away from yours. There is room for everyone at the table, but only if you're willing to bring your own chair. You are on your own timeline. Denzel says comparison is a thief of joy, and joy is fuel. When you lose joy, you lose momentum. Focus on your lane. Run your race, because no one can beat you at being you. He also speaks deeply about gratitude. Gratitude changes your perspective. When you wake up grateful, you operate differently. You move differently. You think differently. Denzel says when you are grateful, fear loses its grip, because you realize how far you've already come. He reminds us to give back. Not just money, but time, energy, wisdom. He says you don't really start living until you start serving others. Success isn't about what you accumulate. It's about what you contribute. At the end of life, no one asks how much money you made. They ask how many lives you touched. One of Denzel's most powerful warnings is about shortcuts. He says there are no shortcuts to any place worth going. If you cut corners, you cut character. If you rush the process, you weaken the foundation. And weak foundations collapse. The process is painful. It's slow. It's frustrating. But the process is what prepares you to handle the blessing. Because if you get the reward before you're ready, it will destroy you. He also talks about surrounding yourself with the right people. Energy matters. If you stay around people who complain, you'll complain. If you stay around people who make excuses, you'll make excuses. But if you surround yourself with disciplined, focused, purpose-driven people, you will rise. Denzel says, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Another lesson he shares is about humility. No matter how successful you become, stay humble. Ego makes you blind. Humility keeps you learning. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you stop growing. He reminds us that every day you wake up is a gift. Time is the one thing you can never get back. So don't waste it on regret. Don't waste it on fear. Don't waste it waiting for permission. You already have what you need to start. Denzel says dreams don't come true by accident. They come true by design. By showing up when it's hard. By staying consistent when no one is watching. By believing when doubt is loud. And maybe the most powerful thing he says is this: fall forward. If you fall forward. Learn from it. Grow from it. Use it. Don't let failure push you backward into fear. Let it push you forward into wisdom. Because every setback is a setup. And one day, you'll look back and realize everything you went through was preparing you for everything you prayed for. So if you're struggling right now, if you feel behind, if you feel lost, you're not broken. You're becoming. Stay disciplined. Stay faithful. Stay focused. Your time is coming. And when it does, you'll be ready. If this message spoke to you, don't ignore it. Apply it. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more life-changing wisdom. And remember this: dream big, work hard, stay humble, because greatness is not given, it's earned.